Welcome back to the Tea with Jade B. It's been far too long. And why has it been too long? You may ask yourself. Because I recorded an entire episode last week where the audio was compromised, so it just didn't record. I went to go upload it onto my little computer and nothing was fucking there. And I was like, okay, I know I pressed the record button. Where the fuck is the audio? So that was an absolute downer. And I really like recording my episodes close to the release date so things feel fresh. It feels like we're like processing things together, because if I bank the episodes, the problem there is that like I like to talk about pop culture things and, you know, current events. And when you get the episode, you're like, wait, what the fuck? I'm already over this pop culture thing. We're already on to the next. So I like to keep it fresh. But also the problem with that is that if I do something like fuck up my audio, we're playing with a really like loose timeline. So it is 6:00 on Wednesday night, and this is going to be up Thursday morning. Right, Jade? Okay, so let's catch you up. We're back in Austin finally, and you know, happy to be back. Am I happy to be back? Yeah, no, I'm happy to be back. I miss my friends. I love my community in Austin. I have so many good friends. I feel like I've like finally hit my stride. Only took me like 3 years. And so that's the main thing I miss. But like, it's just hard to beat California, especially like the weather was so good in January. It was like 70 degrees and sunny every single day in California. And you would think like, oh no, I want the seasons. I would get so bored. Would you get bored? Like not having to worry about weather? Like just take that off the list. You just don't have to worry about weather. That's not boring. That is opportunity, you know? Like now today in Austin, not to talk about the weather, it's so fucking boring, but it's 25 degrees. And like for me, 30 is my cap. Like if it's 30 degrees and up, I will exit the house. 20 degrees, like it's just not going to happen for me. Like I canceled my workout this morning and I don't feel bad about it, except for the fact that I live with a David Goggins boyfriend. And everyone wants to complain about Andrew Huberman husband. I got a Huberman husband, but nobody talks about the Goggins boyfriend. Because, and there's a difference. Huberman husbands are like, you know, they're into cold plunging, saunaing, like, you know, optimizing their health, blah, 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 drinking raw milk, eating raw cheese, doing all that kind of shit. And my Goggins boyfriend does that. That's like honestly child's play. That's just his baseline, is being a Huberman. But a Goggins boyfriend is like also very motivational. And it works 99% of the time, except when it's 25 degrees out. Like, and he has all of these like little sayings, his mottos that he lives by in his back pocket. And it's amazing. It's why he is so successful and why I am not. But he, you know, some just sayings for him. Discipline equals freedom. That's his favorite thing to tell me and old Hank. Discipline equals freedom. Like if you're going to miss that, you know, like having like a discipline, having routine, it is freedom. Like when I am like on my routine, when I'm on my discipline shit, I feel so in control of my life and I feel so free in my life. He's not fucking wrong. However, when I wake up and it says 25 degrees outside, feels like 8 degrees, I am willing to take the L. Like you win, I lose. I'm not leaving my house. I'm not going to be cold. I have ADHD, and what TikTok has told me that like I get overstimulated by cold. Like I don't like being cold ever. So it's my neurodivergency. I can't go outside. And so what other kind of sayings does he say that's very David Goggins? Oh, this is a good one. No such thing as a part-time savage. And he's right. There absolutely is no such thing as a part-time savage, but I've never claimed to be a savage. I am just a girly with fitness goals. And those goals, if there's a speed bump, we're going over them and it might stop us. I don't know if that makes any sense, but my speed bump is 25 degrees outside, feels like 8, and it's stopping me 100%. So what did we do? We went to, I have to tell you guys this story. I literally need to get this off my chest because it was so fucking embarrassing. So we're leaving California and it sucked because I felt like I got back into my old groove, and I really just feel like I can't explain it. The only way I can explain it is like my soul belongs in California. Like I love Texas so much. It is like Texas feels like an aunt to me. Like it feels like my safe place. I love Austin. It's the only other place I've ever lived where I felt like I've like actually felt content here. But like my soul resides in California. It always has, it always will. I will always be pulled back to California. I leave and I come back every single time. All that to say, where the fuck are you going with this? I was hanging out with my friends. So one of the last nights there, one of my girlfriends has me over for dinner with her gorgeous family. And her and her husband and her 2 kids, we were just like laughing. And these are like my like OG like adult friends, I would say, like the first friends I really made outside of like college and high school, like my work friends that turned into like family. Teehee. So we're having dinner and she goes to put the kids down. And, you know, her husband says something very nice, very sweet. He's like, you know what? I just want you to know that you're not just her friend. You're my friend too. And we miss you. Just like a normal human being. Nothing weird. But guess who has to make everything weird because she's just a weird fucking person? Me. And I go, yeah, just friends. And he was like, yeah, we've always been just friends. And once the words exited my mouth, I was like, why the fuck do you need to emphasize just friends? Like he's being a kind, nice, not weird, not fucking creepy person. And then you just made it weird. And then now he's all like panicking. He's like, yeah, we've always been just friends. And I'm like, yeah, just friends. Like, why did I say that? I have no idea. I wanted to just crawl inside myself and die. And so the next day, I call my sister and I'm like, you know what I fucking said last night? Like, I don't even know why I said it. It was just a nervous fucking dick. Just friends. Just friends. My sister's like, you are so awkward. And you know what you probably did? You probably made it awkward for him. Now he's going back and replaying it and being like, did I give a vibe? Like, I didn't mean to give a vibe. I wasn't trying to give a vibe. He gave no vibes. I'm just a fucking awkward person. So I wanted the whole way home, I was just like, wanting to die. I was like, why did you say that? Why are you the most awkward person ever? Like now you can never see these people again. I will see these people again. But like, it was just me being classically awkward. And it's like, I go into every single social situation. I have a little pep talk with myself. I'm like, just don't say anything fucking weird today, Jade. Just keep it normal. And inevitably, every single time I have to say one thing that's just weird as fuck and it leaves the other person blinking at me and I'm like, oh, yep, that is the thing I said today. That is absolutely out of pocket and so fucking weird. And it's a tick. It's a little tick and I am so ashamed of myself. So yeah, that was weird. Then we went to Mexico last week, which was so much fucking fun. Nothing really crazy went down there. Our friends got married in Punta Mita. I'd never been to Punta Mita, but I have been to Puerto Vallarta. You fly into Puerto Vallarta and Punta Mita is like an hour north. And of course, what do I think of when I land in Puerto Vallarta? Obviously the housewives. Obviously, I think at first and foremost, I think about Vicky Gunvalson. Whoop it up and Angeles. Woohoo! And I can't stop saying that the entire time because I have a tick. I have neurodivergency. I'm so glad, by the way, that TikTok has made like being neurodivergent like such a thing because back in my day, you were supposed to like suppress those ADHD symptoms. And now I just let my freak flag fly. So whoop it up and Angeles, whoop it up and Angeles. That was like going on in my head. And then leaving the airport, we drove right past Vivante. That's where Lisa Barlow hosted the girlies. And it was like really fucking big. It was like honestly like bigger than Disneyland. It was huge. And the driver was kind of like talking some smack on Vivante. So that was definitely like a paid partnership. It wasn't like the most like chic place they could have stayed in Puerto Vallarta, I think. And maybe I'm biased because I've just been there once, but like I think Punta Mita is where it's at. So yeah, anyways, that's really fucking boring. I also saw a medium. Now, of course, everything has to be tied back to a pop culture reference. So this medium actually has worked with Kristen Cavallari before, and I didn't really know what I was getting into when I first got there. I thought we were going to have a psychic reading, and I was like, I don't know if I want to know my future, because what if it's like telling me a bunch of bad shit? Like I just would rather not know. I'd rather just like it happened to me, like it's happened, you know, the last however many years, you know, divorce. Like I wouldn't want to know divorce was coming for me. I'm actually happy that it was just a surprise. So I get there and it's a medium, which I was really excited about because I was like, okay, like let's talk to Gigi. Gigi was my grandma. She was my best friend. And I like just like Gigi, I don't think if she were alive, she'd be into mediums, but I think I knew she would want to connect with me. So I was like, okay, let's see if Gigi comes through. So she kind of starts it out. We set some intentions. We, try to bring good energy for the spirits. Like we're not trying to get like bad spirit energy. And she has us write down 3 people we want to talk to. So I write down my 3 people. And she also notes that like pets could come through in this reading too. And I was like, if anyone's coming through, it's my boy, Hank, because we just like have a very special bond. But like I really kind of like put that out of my mind when she started reading people. And it was crazy. The stuff she was saying that there's absolutely no way anyone would know. It like immediately I was just so emotional. I was like crying for all these people because we did it like in a group. And when so she would like kind of like get names given to her. And so she'd be like, does anyone here know an Andrew? And she's like, don't make it fit. That was like her thing. She's like, if it's not working for you, don't make it fit. I don't want you to like make this into something that it's probably not. So she says, I'm getting a Henry. I'm getting a Henry. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, who's Henry? Who's Henry? And my friend goes, Hank. And I'm like, oh my God, Henry is like, Hank is a nickname for Henry. And I call him Henry all the time. So it was really funny. And then she was like, okay, yeah, it's Hank or Henry. And he's saying, thank you for choosing me. And then I just start fucking bawling. I'm like, oh my God. And it was really cute. And she said that he really likes Nick and he can tell when some of the stuff I was like, okay, that could be like anything. But she said that he can tell that I get drained from some social situations, which like, I mean, if you're less exciting than I am, like you're probably draining me. Just being honest. So that's not like so off. But then she said something about my grandma. Now there's things that like just absolutely no one would know. And like I don't really talk about. Like she's like, are you Italian? And I was like, I am. I'm 28% Italian. And that's something that like really my grandma would talk to me about. But like I don't ever really talk about it ever to anyone. And my grandma would always talk about me and my mom's best friend being Italian, and we're very similar. And she would always say like, you know, you and Stacy are, you know, fiery little Italians. You're so much alike. And so that was kind of crazy. She also talked about this piece of jewelry that my grandma had. And it was just like such an emotional experience. And I want to do it again. And I want my mom and sisters to do it because it was just like, but it is like kind of crazy. Like it does make you feel so close yet so far away from them. Like I'm just like, I want to ask her so many questions, but it was a really awesome experience. And so that's that. She also told me I am everything I touch turns to gold. And that's where I was like, maybe you're picking up on someone else's energy, because I'm not really sure. Like everything I touch, not my marriage, not moving to Colorado. Now we do have Mr. Roberts. Now that is gold. But like, I wouldn't say necessarily everything I touch turns to gold. Not this podcast yet. Not this podcast. Not my TikTok. Not my Instagram. We're kind of in our flop era, but that's okay. We're on the other side of a flop. There's always a bop. And anyways, so Okay, let's get into some pop culture-y things. You guys aren't going to like what I have to say, okay? And where should we start? Let's start out with Meghan Markle. Okay, so a couple days ago, was it Monday or I think it was yesterday? Meghan Markle posted that she is so excited to announce that she is launching a business. And she keeps saying business. It's not like, I feel like nowadays people say brand, but she's like, I'm launching a business. It's like I don't know, it's giving weird vibes. So she is launching her business in partnership with Netflix, and the name is As Ever. And so she doesn't really, in a roundabout way, she lets us know that, what was her other, American Riviera Orchard. In a roundabout way, she's letting us know that she has rebranded her old brand or old business, American Riviera Orchard, to now As Ever. Now, none of these names just roll off the tongue. It's not like something that you're like, oh, this is a great name, like American Riviera Orchard. Just kind of like, it's like hard to say. It jumbles up in your mouth. And then As Ever too, like it's not I don't know. It's just not a normal thing to say, as ever, as ever. It just doesn't roll off the tongue. And I don't know. So in this thing that she's talking to us about, this business venture she's talking about, she said, now American Riviera Orchard was very limiting. It would limit her to things that were produced in the Santa Barbara, Montecito area. Now, if that is limiting to you, why would that not be something that you are discussing during the ideation stage? Like, you are not just a celebrity, you are royalty. You have quite literally the entire world at your fingertips. You would think that somebody who is Meghan Markle would have already discussed this name limiting her and what she, like, wouldn't you discuss like what you want to do with the brand and how that name could limit you in that pursuit of whatever you're trying to do? None of us even know what you're trying to do because it's just so unclear. And here's what I have to say. Meghan Markle, I think she's gorgeous. She is so charming. She is a personality. Like, I do truly enjoy watching her. Like, in all of the documentaries I've seen, I've really enjoyed watching her. I like all the videos when she posts and she's talking to camera. I like it. I don't know what the fuck she's saying, but I like it. But here's what I have to say. With someone with so much access, a blind squirrel could find a nut quicker than Meghan Markle can find whatever the fuck she's trying to do. Because I truly don't understand what it is she's trying to do. She has not given us anything. And in that video, she's like, of course, you guys obviously know jam is my jam. Do we obviously know jam is your jam? We didn't even know what American Riviera Orchard was. You launched a 9 grid on an Instagram. You sent a bunch of celebrities a box with jam that had no, from my knowledge, had no explanation like, hey, American Riviera Orchard is going to be this. We're launching with jam. So excited to send you what we have coming up next. Like, even with this announcement, As Ever, she's not really telling us what As Ever is. So like, who is helping you with this launch? Because for me, if I had just like a big flop like American Riviera Orchard, and not to mention being called a grifter by Spotify Studios and all of that, I would make sure to have such a strong launch coming out of the gate. And I think she was trying to get ahead of some like leaks that were happening, but still, I would keep quiet until I could say, As Ever is this. This is the elevator pitch. This is the one sentence that describes whatever the fuck I'm trying to do. And this is the product you could potentially buy. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. But she doesn't have that. I have no idea what she's doing. Like, what is she doing? Like, and it's so messy. It's so chaotic. She needs somebody who, honestly, she needs who's that person that helps the Kardashians that did Good American and Skims? Emma Greeny or Greedy. I don't know what her name is, but that girl needs to help Meghan Markle. She needs to whip her into shape. I don't understand what's happening over at the Duchess of Sussex's house. Sussex. Ooh, that sounds kind of wrong to say. You know what I mean? Okay. Sir, that's how I feel about Meghan Markle. As always, women supporting women, blah, blah, blah. And we need to get into Justin Baldoni because you guys aren't going to like what I'm about to say, and I'm prepared to take the heat. And I think everyone, it's interesting. The people that have like spoken out on the other side, or it's not even that I'm pro Blake and Ryan. I'm just like pro, let's take a look at this. Like, let's look at this from non-biased eyes. There are so many tea accounts on TikTok and Instagram that are giving us the tea, but it's so clearly biased, and they're filling in a lot of the gaps that this lawsuit, like the lawsuit is presenting facts, they're presenting evidence, and then these tea accounts are filling it in with their own bias and their own, like, I guess, their own, they're filling in the facts with things that we don't know are true or not. Like, for instance, there's this girl, Stephanie. She has curly hair, and she's just like, her vibe is just like so kind of like mean. And I used to do like tea things on TikTok, and I still love talking about pop culture and putting my own opinion out there, which I don't think it's bad to put your opinion out there, but the way she does it is so like it's just so like jabby especially against like women. It's always against women. Like Brianna Chicken Fry, she fucking hates her. She always likes to like put her opinion on. Anyways, okay, stop rambling, Jade. Give them an example. Okay, so with the Blake Lively thing, she'll be like, Blake Lively does it again. She's so hypocritical and so this and so that. And Justin is just trying to do the right thing. And it's like, okay, you don't know either of these people's motivation. So now in the Justin Baldoni lawsuit that just came out, Blake Lively amended her case. I don't know legal terms, so like just take this with a grain of salt. But like basically she amended whatever the fuck she put out there, and she said, hey, I have 2 female witnesses that are also will be willing to testify who he made them feel uncomfortable to. And now it's just like, it's so messy, and I'm still staying right on my side of like, I'm going to be more inclined to believe Blake Lively. And the thing that's now coming out is like Candace Owens is like, I have a very reputable source that says that Ryan Reynolds is this like controlling freak, blah, blah, blah. So now everyone on the internet, you hear one fucking person give this theory. Now you're all on this camp that like Ryan Reynolds is a controlling person, and everything he does, now you're pulling up all these old interviews and you're like, look, see, he did this, and look, see, she's like this. And it's just like, you don't know what the fuck is going on. We don't know anything that's actually going on behind the scenes here, except for what they've shown us. And like, honestly, you guys aren't going to like this, but like all of these text messages that are going down between Justin Baldoni and Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, first of all 3 of them need to get a grip, and they need to reduce the character count by half. No one needs to be sending pages and pages of text with words that we don't need. We don't need superfluous words. We don't need a fucking thesaurus or dictionary to figure out a text message. Like that's not how normal people text. But from the text messages I've seen between Ryan Reynolds and Justin Baldoni, I personally just see a guy that like, what if he just really fucking loves his wife? Like, how do we know that he is controlling Blake Lively? We have come up with that in our, like, as a TikTok community or whatever the fuck we're doing. But people are now trying to make that the narrative, that he is a controlling person, a controlling husband. But like, what if he just like really likes his wife? Like, I don't see anything wrong with him. I don't know. It's just, there's too much shit that we don't know. And I don't like the pile-on. I don't like the pile-on on Justin either. But like, everyone is so loudly pro Justin, and it's unpopular to be like, hey, like, what if Blake isn't the bad guy either? Like, what if she's actually the victim like she said she was? I'm happy with standing on team Blake Lively until like further notice, until this goes to trial, because we really don't know anything until this goes to trial. And I understand why Justin Baldoni is putting out all this evidence here, because his reputation is going to be fucked if this is true. But I don't know, like, what if Candace Owens is wrong? And what if Ryan Reynolds is just a loving husband? Like, what if? In like the SNL 50th anniversary was this weekend, and of course Colin Jost is an SNL cast member, and his wife is Scarlett Johansson, and she used to be married to Ryan Reynolds, and guess who was there? Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. And everyone's like, that is so weird that Ryan Reynolds would be there. Why is that fucking weird? I don't understand. That's weird. And people are like, it's really bad PR for them to be there. Personally, I think it's not. I think it's kind of like them just making, like, trying to go on as if this shit isn't, they're not letting this shit control them from like going to things that they would want to go to. Everyone and their mom was there. I don't think it's weird that they were there at all. And I guess it actually happened. So in the sketch, in one of the sketches, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are like, Ryan Reynolds is here. How are you doing? And he said, fine. What have you heard? And everyone, like, that's a very controversial thing now. So everyone has an opinion. Was it right that they did that? Was it wrong that they did that? I personally thought it was like kind of funny. It's like addressing the elephant in the room. I think it would be weird if they didn't address it. And I thought it kind of was like, it made me like chuckle. So there's that. I also really liked Blake's dress. I thought it was really pretty. Okay, another thing that maybe is a controversial opinion, like, what the fuck is wrong with Bravo fans? Like, truly, what is wrong with you? I consider myself, I'm an OG Bravo fan, okay? I am a very normal Bravo fan. I don't like getting involved in the stardom. I don't like getting involved. I don't like getting too close to, what is it? My brain isn't working. I don't like getting too close to them, okay? I like my Bravo fans. I like my Bravo celebrities where I can see them, and that is on my TV or on my little phone. I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get into it. But like, there's just something about these like newer Bravo fans that are so obsessive that they have to like insert themselves into all the drama. And right now it's Paige versus Craig. And I think it's so weird. Like, for me, I love Summer House. I love Southern Charm. I personally like Paige as an influencer. Like, I like her podcast. I think she's really fucking witty. I think she's really funny. I love her and Hannah together. But there's something so weird going on with this Paige and Craig breakup where it's making the fans lose their fucking mind. And they want to like try to find like that Paige did something wrong. Like, they want to catch her in something. And you guys need to, what if there's a nothing there and you're just trying to like blow up this person's life for what? Like, truly, for what? You guys need fucking help. And I think it's so weird. Like, you loved Paige and Craig. You stand them. Oh, love. I can't even believe in love anymore because Paige and Craig are done. And the second they break up, you're going to go to his side. You're just going to just jump ship and make Paige the villain because she broke up with a guy. Have you guys never seen someone break up with a woman break up with a man before? Have you never seen that? It's so strange. And I saw Nick Viall, whatever the fuck his name is, talking about this. And he was like, so Craig had gone on Watch What Happens Live, and the Bravo fans are now trying to catch Paige as a cheater for whatever fucking reason, because now she's going on dates. She's a single woman going on dates. And now the Bravo fans want to say Paige is a cheater. Why do you want to make this person a bad person? Like, why are you trying to find, like, you're trying to like dig up shit that's probably not there. So Craig goes on Watch What Happens Live. Andy says, you know, like, what do you have to say about Paige's cheating rumors? Because she's saying like, you're not really defending her. And he's like, I don't want to be dragged into this. He could have said one thing. He could have said, Paige hasn't cheated on me. And then that would have been done. The drama would be done with that. Like it came from the horse's mouth. Instead, he says this like really fucking ambiguous thing saying, well, I don't know if she cheated or not. I don't want to be involved in this because I'm not involved in this. I'm just trying to move on, which is totally fair. But people are still it honestly put gasoline on the fire, and it made people talk even more about it, because now all we can talk about is if Paige cheated or not, which I don't believe she did. And everyone's talking about his response to that question, which is a weird fucking response. And of course, Nick Viall enters the chat and he said, well, I don't see why it's so bad that Craig has his feelings hurt and he doesn't want to have to defend her and blah, 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 because Paige is now single and she's acting single and it probably hurt his feelings. Well, yeah, of course it hurt his fucking feelings. Like, they're two people that had a breakup. They were together for a really long time. They had a breakup. She's now out and about doing whatever she is doing, which she has every right to fucking do. But like, he can still just like cut the head off of the snake. What is it? Cut the head off of the snake, instead of like giving people like more to like feast on. You know what I mean? I don't know. Men are fucking stupid. And I think if you are like, here's the appropriate reaction to have to the Paige and Craig breakup. Oh my God, that really sucks. It probably is really sad for both of them that they broke up. Done. Period. Instead, like, because we don't know. Nobody is talking about them cheating. The internet is trying to talk about them cheating. Neither one of them have said anything about the other person. People can just break up. It doesn't have to always be some salacious, go on, call her daddy, tell your story. It doesn't always have to be like that. They could just be two people that are no longer in a relationship. Period. End of story. And I just want to say something, as somebody like who moved on, I think quickly after my big breakup, I think women, we like wait and we try so hard in a relationship. We really try to see things all the way through. And in doing that, we tend to like mourn the relationship while we're in it. So when we get to the point where the relationship is done, it's like, okay, we are done. We've exhausted every resource. We've tried to make this work so many times in so many different ways. So by the time it's like actually over, we have already like, we're done. We're ready. We're like ready to be free. I personally, like, I've never felt more free in my life than getting out of a shitty relationship. And I moved on quicker than a lot of people wanted me to move on. Like, a lot of people were like, whoa, you really need to mourn this. So do you want me to sit at home when I'm not fucking sad? Like, I mean, I was sad, but I wasn't like depressed. I wanted to get up. I wanted to live life. I hadn't lived my life in 2+ years. I wanted to feel free again. And there's something about that, like, getting out of those relationships where you just feel so caged that you want to like do something fun. You want to like go to an Eagles game and be spotted with a cute boy. Like, who fucking cares? And so how long have we been yapping? 33 minutes. How long do you guys like your episodes? Let me know. Because I personally like a long episode, but like, it's just me. Maybe you just want me to like have like a short little 30-minute. I think we've yapped enough. Okay. I was going to talk about, I just want to say one thing. I've been really thinking about Jessica Simpson a lot lately, and I really love Jessica Simpson. And I don't think Gen Z like really understands like Jessica Simpson and her career trajectory, because it truly was like such a fascinating thing to see. Because when she first started out as a singer, it was like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. It was like, those were like the two top dogs. And then it was like Jessica Simpson, Mandy Moore, Willa Ford. They probably don't even know who Willa Ford is, which is crazy. And I feel like Jessica never got to like shine in the way that she should have shined. Then in 2003, MTV put out a reality show called Newlyweds with Nick and Jessica. And it was all about Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson and them. They had just gotten married and it's their newlywed life together. And Jessica was so young. She was literally 22 when that show started, which is absolutely crazy. And she just like, it reinvigorated her career. It brought her to like a completely whole nother level. Like, she was just like in a different ball game than Brittany and Christina were. Like Brittany and Christina were obviously like the pop stars, but we were like, Jessica was almost like an influencer to us. But like even better because she was a celebrity and she was so rich and she would wear like the coolest clothes. She had the best hair. She had the best skin. She had like everything. Like we just wanted to be her. She like felt like somebody who, it was almost like her style and her makeup and her hair was attainable because she felt so relatable to us, but like it wasn't. Like none of us looked like her. Like she was on another level. And there's so many different moments on Newlyweds that stand out to me. And Newlyweds, if you have not rewatched it, you have to. It is one of my comfort shows. Newlyweds and Housewives, like I could watch Newlyweds. If I'm having like a depressive episode, Newlyweds is like my Tylenol. It just like soothes my brain. Some of my like favorite moments that live rent free in my head, I think about this line all the time, especially when I was in my 20s. When Jessica was having her 23rd birthday, she says this line, and it's 23 is basically 24, which is basically mid 20s, which is basically 30. And I thought about that so much when I was a teenager. I was like, fuck, 23 is so old. I like 23 is like, I use that as a marker. Like 23, my life is over. Now we know like 23 is a fucking child, and her life, I don't even think she met Eric until she was like in her late 20s, probably 30s. Which is just so funny. And also that glam that she had at her 23rd birthday lives in my head rent free. It's like she did this like big slick back, like bouffant kind of vibe with these long lashes. Oh, it was so gorgeous. She is so stunning. Her and Casey getting LASIK, that's always a classic one. I'll never forget the time that she bought $750 worth of bras and underwear, and at that time that it aired, I was like, that's a lot of fucking money. But I actually had no concept of just how much money that was, especially back then, and especially on bras and underwear. And it was so relatable, her like calling Nick, freaking out, like, what the fuck do? I just spent $750 on bras and underwear. And he's like, take it back. She's like, I can't take it back. Like a normie can't take it back. Like if I would be embarrassed as a normie to take it back, but like you're Jessica Simpson, like people know you. And I just like her getting ready for the Dukes of Hazzard movie, like Jessica Simpson and Dukes of Hazzard. It was a cultural reset. She was the hottest thing we'd all ever seen. And in the show, they're showing like all the behind the scenes of her getting ready and getting in shape for the Dukes of Hazzard. She was like I think she was on Atkins to get, to lose all that weight. And she would wear these Victoria's Secret pink sweatpants. They were yellow with like the green on the butt that said pink. And oh my God, those live rent free in every millennial's mind. You know exactly the sweatpants I'm talking about. Everyone had those sweatpants, but the yellow are so Jessica. And that's all I wanted to talk about. I love Jessica Simpson so much. And I feel like everyone owes her a huge apology, especially all the gossip magazines for how they treated her in the 2000s. So anyways, on that, I'm going to start doing YouTube. Okay. Isn't that so exciting? So if you have anything you want to see, I'm going to be cooking. I'm going to be doing makeup. I'm going to be talking about my boob job. I'm going to be talking about all the things. So let me know what you want to see. It'll be like an accompaniment to the Tea with JB. So Tea with JB will always be coming out on Thursdays now, unless you guys can bully me into making it on Wednesdays. Maybe we'll see. Yes, so that's that. And then make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this. Make sure you share it with people, because I am trying to be, what am I trying to be? I'm trying to be a podcaster. Okay. So that's all. And I love you guys. I'll see you next week, and we'll never break this. Okay? Love you. Bye.